victories, 15 big wins by knockout. He's a 2-division world champion, fighting out of Kyiv, Ukraine, the former undisputed cruiserweight world champion, and now the ring, WBC, WBA, universally recognized linear heavyweight champion of the world, Oleksandr Usyk. Let's have the challenger step on the scale first, ladies and gentlemen. The champ gets privileges, but the challenger weighs in first.
258.7.
258.7 pounds for the challenger, the king of kickboxing, Rico Verhoeven. Now, stepping onto the scales, the reigning and defending world heavyweight champion from Kyiv, Ukraine, Oleksandr Usyk. 233.3 pounds. That's it, the final face-off. Verhoeven versus Usyk for the heavyweight championship.
The fight is happening at the ring tomorrow evening here at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York.
That moment showed pure tension between Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven after the face-off got physical. Usyk did not step back at all and fired a strong warning showing he is fully locked in. This is not mind games anymore, it is real hostility building between both fighters. Rico Verhoeven stayed extremely composed after the heated face-off and tried to shift the focus back to respect and control. But behind that calm tone, there is clear pressure building as he prepares to shock the boxing world. He keeps talking about history and writing moments, but against Oleksandr Usyk, this is not history on paper, it is survival inside the ring where every mistake gets punished instantly.
Usyk all week, but that face-off went on for a while again. Is this though when you start to lock in and the wheels start to turn ahead of tomorrow night?
No, but I'll always respect my opponent in whatever case. So, and also with this, just we lock in, and I guess this is what we're doing. So, and I'm for no point, whatever, we're gonna let it slip away. So we're gonna stay there. If we're gonna stay there until tomorrow, I'm here.
We push you for a final prediction. Rico, how do you shock the boxing world tomorrow night? Just tell the world one final time.
Now, just all I can say is we're writing history again here in the pyramids. It's a beautiful country, Egypt, already with...
Oleksandr Usyk stayed calm and grounded even after the intense face-off with Rico Verhoeven. He gives respect to Rico's kickboxing legacy but quickly reminds everyone that boxing is a different world. Usyk's focus is pure discipline and hunger, not entertainment. That mindset is exactly why he has dominated every opponent he has faced. While others talk about history and pressure, Usyk stays locked in like a true elite champion who treats every fight as a serious mission.
It's just going through the motion, he's serious about it, you know, so I liked it.
Yeah, like his energy was like very calming throughout the week.
Yes, it was.
Roy Jones Jr. highlights how serious Oleksandr Usyk looks during fight preparations and that calm energy is what separates him from hype fighters. Usyk does not panic or get emotional, he stays controlled in every situation. That kind of composure is dangerous for Rico Verhoeven because calm fighters usually execute their game plan perfectly under pressure. Usyk's focus and discipline make him one of the hardest puzzles to solve in modern boxing.
It's just going through the motion, he's serious about it, you know, so I liked it.
Yeah, like his energy was like very calming throughout the week.
Yes, it was.
Wade Plemines admits this is an entertainment-style crossover fight, but still leans heavily towards Oleksandr Usyk dominating Rico Verhoeven. The comparison with Francis Ngannou shows that surprises can happen in boxing, but Usyk is a completely different level of technician compared to Tyson Fury on that night. Rico Verhoeven might bring excitement and unpredictability, but Usyk brings control, experience, and precision, which is why most analysts still expect a one-sided performance.
Fight. In fact, I think the fight is going to be a fun one. I think Usyk's probably going to wash Rico, but hey, you never know. Francis walked in there, knocked down Tyson, jiggled his balls in his face, and ended up almost beating him. So yeah, I'll watch this. It's an entertainment fight. It's a crossover fight, and while I think that Oleksandr Usyk has bigger fish to fry in the heavyweight division, when KBL is a mandatory.
Peter Fury confirms that both fighters willingly accepted this challenge, showing mutual confidence and ambition. Oleksandr Usyk is known for only taking high-risk, high-reward fights, while Rico Verhoeven is stepping outside his comfort zone into pure boxing territory. That alone shows bravery from both sides, but experience still heavily favors Usyk, who has already proven himself against the very best heavyweight boxers in the world.
Rico wanted the fight, Usyk wanted it. They said both ultimate fighting men, aren't they? So fights like this are not going to be hard to make.
Dave Coldwell breaks down the tense face-off moment and shows how quickly things escalated between Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven. Even small actions carried big intensity, which proves the pressure of this matchup is already affecting both fighters mentally. Usyk stayed composed while Rico tried to assert himself physically, but in boxing composure often wins over aggression, especially against someone as technically sharp as Usyk.
Shoved it in his chest. The point's still there, but you're not crossing that line, and that would have been quite funny.
Dave Allen clearly believes this is a massive mismatch and questions whether Rico Verhoeven belongs in the ring with Oleksandr Usyk at elite boxing level. While he respects Rico's kickboxing greatness, he still sees a big gap in boxing fundamentals. Usyk, on the other hand, has spent years mastering timing, distance, and footwork at world championship level, which is why many fans agree this could become a very difficult night for Rico.
But I'm not interested in. I like Rico Verhoeven, sparred him, know him, nice fella, very good kickboxer, one of the best of all time, but he's not a boxer. If he wants to fight,
can he box?
Yeah, he can box. He's a very good boxer, but he shouldn't be boxing the best heavyweight in the world. If he wants to do it as an exhibition, go and do it. I'm not interested in Usyk Verhoeven, just for the simple fact it's a miss.
Oleksandr Usyk once again shows why he is mentally different from most fighters by completely dismissing the idea of pressure. For him, this is just another boxing fight, not a life-changing event. That calm mindset is what makes him so dangerous at elite level. While Rico Verhoeven is stepping into a completely new environment, Usyk is treating it like normal business. Fighters who stay emotionally flat under pressure usually perform at their best when it matters most, and Usyk has proven that repeatedly against world-class opponents in high-stakes fights.
But he's going to be dangerous. Like, all the attributes that he has, they still exist, regardless of his mental state. But I see a kid in pain, I've got to be honest with you, I don't see how people around him can be looking at his behaviour and being comfortable with it. And I don't think they are.
Eddie Hearn points towards concern around Rico Verhoeven's condition and mental state heading into a high-pressure environment. Even though Rico has physical tools and natural ability, there are doubts about how he handles elite boxing pressure. Oleksandr Usyk, on the other hand, thrives in these situations because he never breaks emotionally during fights. That mental stability is what separates champions from contenders. If Rico enters this fight unsettled or overthinking things, Usyk is exactly the type of fighter who will punish every hesitation and control the pace from start to finish.
But he's going to be dangerous. Like, all the attributes that he has, they still exist, regardless of his mental state. But I see a kid in pain, I've got to be honest with you, I don't see how people around him can be looking at his behaviour and being comfortable with it. And I don't think they are.
Johnny Nelson highlights how things in boxing promotion can sometimes cross personal boundaries and create unnecessary tension. In this case, it shows how emotional the build-up can get even before the fight begins. Oleksandr Usyk, however, is rarely dragged into emotional chaos because he stays focused on performance, not drama. That is a key advantage for him against someone like Rico Verhoeven, who is still adjusting to the psychological warfare of elite boxing build-ups. Usyk's ability to stay detached allows him to execute clean strategy inside the ring without distraction.
Fight, he may apologise and say, look, I went too far, I shouldn't have said that. But he needed to get a response from Anthony Joshua. and get him into a certain mindset.
Adam Smith explains how controversy has already added more attention and intensity to this fight between Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven. These moments are often seen in big crossover events where emotions run high before the opening bell. However, once the fight starts, everything comes down to skill, timing, and experience. Usyk thrives in high-pressure environments where distractions exist because he has already been tested at the highest level multiple times. Rico Verhoeven may benefit from hype, but Usyk benefits from pure fight intelligence when chaos turns into boxing.
It's the fight business, and it's just made it even bigger, and we wait to see what happens next. And I'm a storyteller, and I love the interest and intrigue in matchups, and I think this is a fight that the casuals will just revel in. Is it controversial? Have we already seen controversy at a
Fabio Wardley questions the logic behind Rico Verhoeven getting such a massive opportunity without a deep boxing background. Many fans share the same opinion because elite boxing usually rewards experience and rankings. But Oleksandr Usyk changes the narrative because he is not choosing easy fights, he is choosing challenges that test his legacy. The concern for Rico is simple: the jump from kickboxing to facing a fully developed technical genius like Usyk is one of the hardest transitions in combat sports history, and mistakes will not be forgiven at this level.
Understand that he's kind of earned the right to do what you want, but I at least expected it to be some sort of active boxer, someone of some, not to say I don't actually know much about Verhoeven in terms of a kickboxer, of what his quality level is, but what I'm saying is I expected it to be someone of a decent caliber of a professional boxer. But if it's not, then fine. Look, do your thing, do you, and hopefully he returns to actual professional boxing against some of the top elite.
Spencer Oliver raises serious questions about the legitimacy of Rico Verhoeven getting a world title shot after only one professional boxing bout. From a traditional boxing point of view, this is completely against the system where fighters climb rankings over years to earn a title opportunity. But Oleksandr Usyk is not operating in a normal matchmaking environment anymore. His name alone changes the business of boxing. That is why critics call it unfair while promoters see it as massive entertainment value. Still, from a pure boxing perspective, Usyk is stepping into a fight where experience, timing, and ring craft heavily favor him, making Rico's task even more difficult than it already looks on paper.
I mean, this kid's had one bout as a professional boxer. You go, so, you know, how can he jump the queue and box Oleksandr Usyk for the WBC title? To me, that doesn't make any sense at all, and I think it makes a mockery, again, of the WBC.
Ade Oladipo highlights the respect Rico Verhoeven commands in the kickboxing world, where he is regarded as one of the greatest of all time. That reputation brings real intrigue to this crossover clash with Oleksandr Usyk. However, kickboxing greatness does not automatically translate into boxing dominance, especially against someone like Usyk, who has spent his entire career mastering pure boxing technique. Rico may have power and athleticism, but Usyk has elite-level timing, footwork, and ring IQ built through years of facing world champions. That gap in boxing experience is what makes this fight so heavily debated among fans and analysts.
Oleksandr Usyk steps in and will take on one of the greatest kickboxers of all time. I'm actually quite a big kickboxing fan, so I know quite a lot about him. I've watched a few of his fights over the years. They used to call him the Prince of Kickboxing, and then he elevated to the King of Kickboxing. I mean, he's a very, very, very good kickboxer who's got decent hands. I can't lie to you. It's funny.
Spencer Oliver raises serious questions about the legitimacy of Rico Verhoeven getting a world title shot after only one professional boxing bout. From a traditional boxing point of view, this is completely against the system where fighters climb rankings over years to earn a title opportunity. But Oleksandr Usyk is not operating in a normal matchmaking environment anymore. His name alone changes the business of boxing. That is why critics call it unfair while promoters see it as massive entertainment value. Still, from a pure boxing perspective, Usyk is stepping into a fight where experience, timing, and ring craft heavily favor him, making Rico's task even more difficult than it already looks on paper.
Little space, and I can see how the monetization vehicle of this works, but Usyk wouldn't be doing this unless there's a reason for it. There must be a motivation behind it. It must be some form of derivative as to what happened between the various disciplines crossing over with Ngannou.
Ade Oladipo highlights the respect Rico Verhoeven commands in the kickboxing world, where he is regarded as one of the greatest of all time. That reputation brings real intrigue to this crossover clash with Oleksandr Usyk. However, kickboxing greatness does not automatically translate into boxing dominance, especially against someone like Usyk, who has spent his entire career mastering pure boxing technique. Rico may have power and athleticism, but Usyk has elite-level timing, footwork, and ring IQ built through years of facing world champions. That gap in boxing experience is what makes this fight so heavily debated among fans and analysts.
You've got to look at Alexander, what he's done. He's wiped the floor with everybody. He's established himself at the top there. So now you look at him and you'll think financially, will he be in a better position than Tyson Fury? No, not in my opinion. Anthony Joshua? No, not in my opinion. The big money fights aren't out there for him, so he's got to do something. He's got to put himself in a position where he's got to win, because he's proved he's top draw. So in this fight here, I think it creates interest, intrigue. I'm quite sure there's a healthy pay packet at the end of it. This is now business.
Ade Oladipo highlights the respect Rico Verhoeven commands in the kickboxing world, where he is regarded as one of the greatest of all time. That reputation brings real intrigue to this crossover clash with Oleksandr Usyk. However, kickboxing greatness does not automatically translate into boxing dominance, especially against someone like Usyk, who has spent his entire career mastering pure boxing technique. Rico may have power and athleticism, but Usyk has elite-level timing, footwork, and ring IQ built through years of facing world champions. That gap in boxing experience is what makes this fight so heavily debated among fans and analysts.